Hello. Before we start today's episode, if you would like a condensed version of what I'm talking about in this podcast, go ahead and subscribe to the Perfectionist Guide. You can read the entire thing in 3 minutes or less. To access this, go to CourtneyLoveGavin.com/newsletter. Are you a bit of a perfectionist, type A, hyper performer? Then you know that having the audacity to see an ideal and bring it into reality while breaking generational habits of hustle can be tough, but it doesn't have to be. If you are ready to burn bright instead of burning out, to lead without losing yourself, and to enjoy the life you have worked so hard to create, then keep listening. I'm your host, America's leader on rewiring perfectionism, CLG, and this is Perfectionism Rewired, the podcast. Welcome to Perfectionism Rewired. Today we are talking about how to take control of your perfectionism with a demanding career. And we're going to do that through the story of Jordan. Jordan is a client. He started working with me inside of Perfectionism Optimized one-on-one. And as you listen to his story, I think that you will see a lot of similarities in your own life, particularly if you are in a high pressure career, a demanding profession, feel that there is not enough time to get done what you want to get done, or if you are so far behind. When Jordan came to me, he was convinced that he had an efficiency problem. He had tried time management, Pomodoro, worked with all these specialists, accountability coaching. It was not for lack of trying. And Jordan was concerned that his job was in jeopardy. He was afraid he was going to lose his job at the law firm that he worked at because he was failing to meet his billable hours. He was already working 12, 14, 16-hour days, 7 days a week, and was still unable to catch up. So in hot water at work, and his family and children were like, we never see you. He was stressed all the time. It was affecting everything. I asked Jordan, how are you behind on billable hours when you're telling me you're working over 100 hours a week? Like, the math doesn't add up. And Jordan revealed he wasn't actually billing his clients for all of the billable hours that he was working. He said, I know that these cases should only take like 4 or 6 hours, but I'm spending 40 hours on one case. I only bill the client for 6 hours because I don't think it's fair for me to bill them for 40 just because I take longer than the other attorneys. So I'm like, Jordan, why are you spending 40 hours? Now, also, Jordan seasoned in his career. He was is a partner at this very prestigious law firm. He's not a new attorney. I didn't understand why the time was increasing. So I was like, Jordan, why are you spending 40 hours? Jordan said that he meticulously prepares every single case as though it's going before the National Supreme Court. Now, Jordan's case, this is not like the type of law where his cases were likely going to go towards the Supreme Court. This had a lot more to do with IP, contracts, that type of thing. No one was expecting Jordan to do this, nor was it even useful to his clients that he cared so much about. But Jordan didn't know any other way to perform his job. As he learned more and gained more skills and saw their perspectives, the time spent on his cases just continued to go up and up and up. Jordan and I decided to play a game and to do some experiments. The first experiment was put some time constraints. I said, okay, so if you think that it should take 6 hours, what I want to do is I want you to limit yourself to 3 hours. And you're going to get as much done as you can in 3 hours, and then I want you to stop. He said, there is no way it's going to be complete. 3 hours? Are you kidding? That's just my warm up. Then what we decided to do was for him to get feedback to see if any more work needed to be done
and to what extent. So he didn't fall into that 30, 40-hour infinite amount of detailed work. I wanted him to get feedback from a colleague on the efficacy on if it was complete. So we collaborated and decided on a trusted colleague that he could go to and say, hey, here's a case. I just want a second pair of eyes on it. Could you just take a few minutes, look at it, see if there's any case law that you think would be important to include? And Jordan's colleague said, no, this is super thorough. You even included laws I wasn't even aware of. This perplexed Jordan. And Jordan was like, well, how much more work do you think I should do on it? And his colleague said, this is good to go. Then to his astonishment, realized, oh, I don't have a time management problem. I had a perception problem. Also, what Jordan and I realized in doing this experiment is Jordan forgot that he had a dedicated paralegal. So he had a built-in safeguard whose job it was to review, to be that second pair of eyes, and to add in anything that he might have missed. So he no longer needed to go to the colleague, and he was able to recalibrate his level of attention to each case. A lot of perfectionists feel they don't have enough time or that they're so far behind. They never actually consider, well, what am I doing? Is it actually the most useful? And part of that is because there is an immense joy that we can get by bringing so much attention to detail. So in Jordan's case, Jordan is now able to take on more casework, to not be behind on billable hours. But Jordan missed the joy that looking at all the angles as though he was taking a case to the Supreme Court gave him. The good news is that with this newfound time, where he was now spending time with his partner and his family and working out again and, being a holistic human, he was able to decide that he was going to pick one case at a time, a max of 2 cases per year, develop them to the Supreme Court level as a hobby for him in his own time, because there was a real pleasure that he took in that. Passionate about law, passionate. For him, it was like wood whittling or carving a puzzle. It was really a craft that he was missing. He really wanted to indulge in his expertise, the indulging, because that's what it was before. It was indulging. It wasn't actually necessary. And now he's able to do it on his own time, go to town and let all his perfectionistic tendencies run wild without it impacting his prosperity, his presence, his peace of mind, or his person. And by constraining this to 2 cases a year, we're able to get Jordan thriving as an attorney and as a person again. If you feel that you're so far behind and you've tried all these things and you can't really see what it is, and maybe you've injured your self-image as a result of that, I just want you to think about how important having a second pair of eyes in order to see, because what happens with us as perfectionists is that if you think of a circle, there's the circumference of the circle that goes around it. But in order to solve what is actually causing the challenges in your life, we need to go to the core, not the circumference, not the presenting symptoms, but actually going to the core and melting those challenges away. That takes a skilled expert to do that. I do not want any of you to accept that are in high-powered careers or feeling so far behind that you tolerate living in that kind of space. I mean, Jordan was really concerned that he was going to lose his job. If you are feeling like Jordan right now, especially with the holiday time, and you are like, I don't want to live like this anymore, come get coached. You can do that by clicking the link in the show notes or going to CourtneyLoveGavin.com/services. Just like you saw with Jordan, you can still do what brings you joy, but do it in a much more efficient and productive environment for yourself where you're not putting your job or your relationship or anything else at jeopardy. And just look at all the time that you could get back. Like Jordan, believe me, I summarized this for this episode, but he insisted there is no way CLG, there's no way that I can do it in 3 hours. There's no way that I could do it in 3 hours. I'm like, okay, prove me wrong. And look at that. Look at that. So same thing can happen for you.
Listen up. Taking charge of your perfectionism is so much easier than you have been led to believe. Whether you want to stop playing out worst case scenarios in your head or be joyfully present, ambitious again, you don't need more rigid rules, guesswork, or hard work in perfectionism recovery. You need a framework that helps you understand and, most importantly, rewire your perfectionistic habits from the inside out. It starts with my 6-week Perfectionism Rewired Accelerator. Besides the obvious mental health and wellness benefits, rewiring your perfectionism is the fastest way to figure out what's really underneath your perfectionistic patterns. This radically different, proven, proprietary approach helps you succeed by dropping the contempt and judgment that blocks change. Discover how to trust yourself, take control of your world, and feel truly empowered to own your perfectionism instead of being owned by it. Head on over to CourtneyLoveGavin.com/accelerator and start your transformation today.